Guys, Joseph Rakic here from josephrakicfitness.com. Today in this video I'm going to show you 2 reasons why your biceps aren't growing and what you can do to fix this. So first most common issue that I see with people in the gym and why they can't get their biceps to grow is because they are not using correct form and their shoulders are actually taking over the exercise by their elbow coming forward. So what they do is they end up doing their bicep curls. And when they do their bicep curls, their elbow comes forward like that. So what happens when the elbow comes forward? When your elbow comes forward, the front deltoid here ends up lifting that weight. You see that? That is the front deltoid lifting the weight. And then the bicep is curling with less resistance. So as soon as the elbow comes forward, you are taking away the stress from the bicep muscle. So it's super important to try and keep your elbow as stationary as possible. So instead of bringing the elbow forward, we want to keep it as stationary as we can. That way, we're going to place more stress on the muscle, creating more stimulus, creating more muscle fibers ripped, creating more muscle growth. The elbow can come forward a slight bit to help with the contraction, but if it comes forward too much, the shoulders just end up taking over and you defeat the purpose of training the biceps. Therefore, you don't get the bicep gains that you're looking for. Second tip that I want to explain to you guys, which I believe is the biggest problem why people aren't seeing the gains in their biceps, is first off, they realize they're not seeing gains in their biceps. So what do? They think, okay, I need more weight. I need to go heavier, which one creates bad form, but it also creates a stress on the muscle for the biceps that I don't think is optimal for bicep growth. Now, we've got many different muscles in our body, and I think every muscle responds better to a different way or a different technique. For example, I think chest, I think legs, I think back all respond good to high weight and weight overload. Biceps, on the other hand, I believe respond best to more stress. Same with your abs, same with your calves. I believe those muscles respond better to high reps, high stress, opposed to high weight. So people don't get the gains that they want in their biceps, so they end up going heavier and heavier and using a rep range of 6 to 8. I think that's okay to do it from time to time because variety is always key. But for the majority of your bicep training, I do believe reps should be in the 10 to 20 rep range. Like if you're doing sets of 20 reps and you're really burning the biceps out, you're applying a lot of stress, I think that's the best way to really get bicep growth. And it is what has worked for me. At the start, when I got into the gym, I was going heavier and heavier and applying my rep range 6 to 8, and I wasn't getting the gains that I wanted. I started watching some videos on YouTube of pro bodybuilders and how they train their arms, Lee Priest, Rolly Winkler, Kai Green, watching all of their workouts. And I noticed all of them are using a high rep range. For the most part, 15 reps plus. Some of them even doing 20 rep plus sets. And it made me think, maybe a high rep range works better for this type of muscle group. So I started applying this technique to my arm days, to my bicep days, and that's when I noticed me really starting to get gains in my biceps. So if you're struggling with your bicep gains, definitely add that into your routine. Anyway guys, just to quickly recap, tip number 1 is make sure your elbows don't go too far forward because your shoulders end up lifting their weight. Tip number 2, if your biceps are not growing, stop going heavy with a low rep range and focus on high stress sets. Increase the reps, 15 to 20 is great, 10 to 20 is what I'd keep it between, but also include your drop sets and your supersets for even more stress to the muscle. Try that out and let me know how you get on. Anyway guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check me out on Instagram for heaps more great content there. See you in the next video.
I don't need a lot from you, I just need me a dance. But your friends in the ear like you don't need you a man. Okay, I'ma set this up. Calling on my session, I'ma bless you up. Cause I could do it all.